Matching Verstappen.
Rather than a camper house.
And target lap time 8.6.
Checker your...
And also PU7 position 8, please. PU7 position.
Verstappen both out on the medium combated tyres.
I go for the offset.
I need a bit more front wing.
Okay, understood.
These tent dwellings.
Yeah.
And boost off. Boost off.
In their motorhomes, as is...
My shifting isn't working. Can't shift the gear.
It's up box.
3 weeks out of drivers and engineers.
Okay, 7 minutes left on the clock. Max Verstappen actually didn't do any simulation.
This pace is very strong. If it's going more towards oversteer, consider a click forward and brake balance.
Brought in that 2-week quarantine thing, so he didn't want to go back just to do some simulator work, but he did do some track days, but wouldn't allude to where those were or what that was in. But he is 8th quickest then at the end of this session. 6 minutes to go. Both Mercedes are in the pits, and so is Carlos Sainz. Everybody else is still out on circuit at the moment, but Racing Point looking very strong, up there with Ferrari and Red Bull. Red Bull, we haven't seen the true pace from yet. 8th and 13th for their two drivers. A reminder of the order: Hamilton, Bottas, Perez, Vettel, Ricciardo, Norris, Stroll, Verstappen, Leclerc, Sainz, the top 10. Ocon, Kvyat, Albon, Giovinazzi, Magnussen, the top 15. Grosjean, Gasly, Russell, Raikkonen and Latifi.
Engine 14, position 2. Engine 14, position 2.
At the moment, Vettel in 4th, Ricciardo 5th, Norris, sorry, no, Sainz is behind Norris, isn't he? My apologies. So there we go. That's an irrelevant point. Sorry, 5 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Palmer's changed his Zoom background to the Golden Gate Bridge. So that's the kind of childish stuff that I have to put up with here. Anything to... Are you going to speak at all, Jolyon?
I'll tell you what, it looks very close. If you take away Mercedes...
the Golden Gate Bridge is right behind you.
Yeah, exactly. If you take away Mercedes, the order looks extremely close between Racing Point, Ferrari, Renault, McLaren and Red Bull. You've got 5 teams, all within tenths of a second, a tenth of a second. Only Mercedes that are just up the road. So how they...
Very good lap, Esteban. Let's see if we can maintain this pace.
I think it's exceptional, really. This is only Friday, so let's see what happens tomorrow. And we've seen before Ferrari managed to turn up a lot. Red Bull, I'm sure that they must be able to get closer than this. But their gap to the rest of the field is just exceptional, because with stable rule changes, with stable rules, you would think that the gap would close up, and it has for everyone else. Racing Point have obviously made a big gain for all the reasons we mentioned, but Mercedes have kicked on again from what we've seen today and what I saw in pre-season as well, and they are a long way ahead.
Yeah,
it's ominous.
Certainly is. An email here from Steve Moore saying, "Hi, I'm with Palmer. F1 is supposed to be a meritocracy, and long may it remain so. If the races are dominated by 1 or 2 teams, it's up to the others to raise their game." And Jack is still saying compound of tyre. Doesn't he mind sounding like an idiot? Crofty says it right. So can I not say compound of tyre? He's on the soft compound of tyre. Is that incorrect to say?
He's on the soft tyre.
Check the brake system, that was very strange.
We'll look. Looks okay, looks okay.
Okay, that was very weird looking.
Grosjean saying that the brakes feel weird, but the team saying it says okay. But yeah, can I not say soft compound of tyre? Does that not make sense in English? I can't figure out why not, but Crofty says it right, then better do what Crofty does.
Well, you do when it comes to AlphaTauri and AlphaTauri as well, in fairness.
In terms of what?
Pronunciation.
But in which way round? What do I say? AlphaTauri.
You say AlphaTauri.
No, I say AlphaTauri.
But it's Tauri.
It's sorry.
Check the brake system. That was very strange.
Okay, we'll look. Looks okay.
Okay, that was very weird looking.
Conversation I had with the team manager last year.
Andrew, is it Alpha Tauri?
No. The team manager's not Italian, I'll say that.
I will just point out the point I was going to make in all of this nonsense is that Red Bull are saying that they haven't been able to do their best runs. So the times that you're seeing and the pace is not representative of what they actually can do.
Well, yeah, and I think we had come to that. Here's Norris.
And let's have 100% pace, 100% pace.
Asked for 100% pace there, Lando Norris. But yeah, I think we'd come to the conclusion that this isn't.
I'm losing brake efficiency.
Okay, we are looking, keep us posted. We had a big front lock in turn 1.
With the rest of the pack, if they can find a second, then it gets interesting. But that's a lot of time to find. Hamilton's gone back out, meanwhile. He came into the pits a few laps ago, but he has gone back out just now, so maybe going to do a practice start or two or something like that. Andrew?
Just on the subject of Red Bull, Formula One have got some new graphics for this season, which aim to sort of strip back the various cars' performance in various parts of the track. And what the graphic that they put up just now showed was that the Red Bull is losing 0.23, nearly a quarter of a second, to the Mercedes in the fast corners, whereas Vettel was only losing 0.06. So that does suggest that the Red Bull is lacking a lot today. But the question is, as we've been discussing it through the day generally, is that because they've got something wrong just for today? Or is it a fundamental flaw of the car in the sense that we're seeing the same thing from those cars at Red Bull as we saw in pre-season testing with these spins, with the drivers losing control mid-corner and complaining of rear-end instability? It seems to me a bit of a coincidence that that's continued from testing to now, for that to be just an issue for today, but be tomorrow.
Yeah, indeed we will, because the checker flag is out, and that is the end of the second free practice session. We've got free practice 3 in qualifying tomorrow, and then the race on Sunday, then we do it all again next week. But it is Lewis Hamilton that ends free practice 2 quickest, a 1 minute 4.304, 2 tenths quicker than his teammate Valtteri Bottas, 6 tenths up the road from Perez, Vettel and Ricciardo, 6 tenths to Norris.
And we need secondary FC position 8, FC position 8.
That's Albon, Giovinazzi, Magnussen, the top 15. Grosjean, Gasly, Russell, Raikkonen and Latifi, the 20 drivers.
Out of all of that, yes, Hamilton at Bottas fastest and all the stuff you've spoken about, but how disappointing must it be, or hard must it be, for George Russell? He's just won the virtual Grand Prix Championship of 2020, and now there he is, back lumbering around in the Williams at the back of the field, not able to compete against the guys that he's been competing against virtually. I mean, is that, in all seriousness, psychologically,